Okay, the first part, parallel lines, perpendicular lines, and skew lines. Everyone remember what skew is?
They don't touch
They're not parallel, but they're don't cross.
Not parallel, but don't intersect. Okay? So if they asked you to name a line parallel to DE, here's DE. There's more than one choice. GF. Now, make sure when they ask you to name a line, which they do on the test, make sure you label it as a line with the line symbol above it. You could have also chose BA or CH. And remember, that can be reversed, BA, AB. So a line perpendicular to BC, BC or perpendicular means that they form a 90. So you could have this one, this one, this one, or this one, because it'd be a corner of the box, which would form a 90. So I'll just put BA. A line skew to AF.
HC.
Which one? HC? Yep. HC would never intersect AF, but it's not parallel because it's in the back. You could have had DE,
DG.
GD, BC. Yep. Skew means they'll never hit each other, but they don't run the same direction. And then, let's see, a plane parallel to BGF. So BGF is the front. So what would it be?
CHD.
The back one. So remember, when you name a plane, you just need to pick any 3 letters. There's 4 letters you can choose from. You just need to put 3 of them. Any 3. CHE. Okay? Then a good part of the test is you got a picture and you just got to name what kind of angles they ask you. So if I say angle 1 and angle 6, what kind of angles are those? Alternate exterior. They're outside and the alternate sides. Alt X. Angle 8 and angle 4.
Same side.
Same side interior. SS interior.
We don't have to actually put
The what?
the actual name.
No, you can abbreviate. That's fine. And remember, same side interior. If you're used to, I don't know if any of you are, you could call them consecutive interior if you want. They mean the same thing. Okay. Let's see. Angle 7 and angle 5.
Corresponding.
Corresponding. And the other one I haven't done yet is like,
alternate interior.
yep, angle 7 and angle 4, alternate interior. So remember, corresponding are same position. 1 and 3, 2 and 4, 7 and 5, 8 and 6. Alternate exterior would be 1 and 6, 2 and 5. Alternate interior, 7 and 4, 8 and 3. Same side interior, 8 and 4, 7 and 3. You guys all understand those pretty good? Because if you understand that, it makes the whole test pretty easy. Okay? If these lines, well here, on these you have to solve for x. So, what do we gotta do to figure out what this X is in this
Combine the
picture?
X's.
What do you know about these two angles?
They equal 90.
So X plus 5X has to equal 90. So combine the X's, you get 6X equals 90. Divide by 6, and that would be 15. Now when it's parallel lines, it's either gonna be any two angles, and these should be marked parallel.
Where's Ross?
Any two angles are either gonna equal each other, or they're gonna add up to 180. So in this picture, the two angles shown there, which one is it?
Equal to each other.
They're equal to each other, they're corresponding. So it would be 1/2 X plus 15 has to equal X. So when you solve this, you gotta get the X's together on one side. If you move this over, it's a plus 1/2, so you'd have to minus 1/2 X to get rid of it. X minus 1/2 X is 1/2 X equals 15. Now, a lot of times people just think 7.5.
No.
Remember, what's the best way to get rid of a fraction times,
Times by
take it times the reciprocal, 2/1. And you'd get 30, okay? And it's easy to check, if you put 30 in here, that would be 30. Half of 30 is 15, plus 15 is also 30. So you know you got the right answer. Okay, now this one's very similar to this, the one I just did. It's got the same variables in there and everything. But are these two angles equal, or do they add up to 180? They add up to 180. They really don't have names. They're not like a corresponding or anything like that. But you can move this, since this is X, you would know this is too. So there you can see that they'd have to form a 180. So that means when you add them together, they equal 180. So an X plus 1/2 an X is 1.5 X. It's always easier to make decimals, 1.5. Plus 15 has to equal 180. So you minus 15, and then divide by 1.5. So 165 divided by 1.5 is 110.
Then it's
cereal.
what kind of bullying is cereal?
Oh. Okay, so these two, they're either gonna equal each other or add up to 180.
Add up and
They add up to 180. Again, these are same side exterior, which aren't really a name. But you can see this one's less than 90, that one's greater than 90. And again, if you move stuff around, since this is 6X plus 6, so is that, because they're corresponding, which there you can see they'd add up to 180. So 2X and 6X is 8X. 4 plus 6 is 10, has to equal 180. Now everyone knows how to solve it, right? Subtract 10, divide by 8. Okay. So one more like this.
Wait, what chapter is this?
Chapter 3.
Are we having a test on Wednesday?
Yep, test this Wednesday because we get out early tomorrow. Okay, so in this picture, are they equal to each other or do they add up to 180?
equal to each other.
They're equal. 2x minus 40 has to equal x plus 5. So I gotta move this x over. It's a plus x, so you minus x. Then get the non-x's to this side, it's a minus, so you add 40. And you get 45. Okay? So those aren't so easy. Just remember they're either going to add up to 180 or they're going to equal each other. Okay. Okay, then the last part of the test is just like this last assignment that we just corrected. You're gonna have a picture, and you gotta give the reason that makes the lines parallel, if any.
Okay.
So like if you had a picture like this, what would make these two lines parallel? Huh?
Not, just kidding, yeah, the angles are vertical.
So as vertical angles say that this is parallel to that?
Oh.
No.
No. Vertical angles are congruent, but remember, we need to know either alternate interior are congruent, corresponding are congruent, alternate exterior are congruent, same side interior are
Same side.
supplementary, or perpendicular, same line, or parallel. So this one you would just say no. So the other types that you'd see, if it's corresponding, then a set of corresponding angles will be marked congruent. So you would just say corresponding angles are congruent. And you do need to know these reasons, which the whole chapter is on this, so you should know them by now. If you had this, you would say alternate interior angles are congruent. If you knew this, you'd say alternate exterior angles are congruent. On this one, they actually would put the numbers in there for you to see that. Same side interior are supplementary. A lot of times people get that in their mind, they keep putting congruent, congruent, congruent. So remember, it's supplementary. Then, if you have this picture, that is perpendicular to the same line. But whenever you have this picture, any one of these four also works. So this picture, you could put 5 different things down and they'd all be correct. So everyone understand why those also work? Corresponding are congruent, alternate interior are congruent, alternate exterior, and same side add up to 180.
So how do you get supplementary?
Because if that's 90 and this is 90, 90, 90 adds up to 180. So that's why same side interior are also supplementary in this picture. And then the last one, it looks completely different than these. You'll have 3 lines. And then they'll give you some information. They'll say R is parallel to S and S is parallel to L. So that means these two are parallel because they're parallel to the same line. Okay? There is a part also that's kind of like I already went over it, but just to make sure everyone understands what's happening on this is if you got a picture. You're going to be given 2 angles, and then all you got to do is say whether they're congruent or supplementary to each other. 4 and 7 are not congruent because this is less than 90 and that's more, so you'd say they are supplementary. Okay? Angle 4 and angle 6 are congruent. And you can write the word or you can just put the symbol. So that part should be easy too. You can kind of tell just by looking at them. Okay? Yeah, it should be an easy test.